It's a no shot. It's a no shot. There's 3 phases in football. You want to make sure that your special teams is as tight as possible as well. Taylor is the best punter that we've seen since Ray Guy. So why wouldn't you want to be able to upgrade that? It's not one of these things where you just get anyone on a scrap heap. Oh, anyone want to get kicked the football. No, he's the best. He played for Iowa. He had no other choice but to be the best. With that moribund offense that they had, that nonsense, they went back to the 1930s, that offense that they had. When you are bereft of scoring, you need to have a punter to get you in good position. Taylor's the best. Why not get the best? That's top shelf in special teams.
Yeah, I'm right there with Hoodie. I know Carmen and Yurko are just irate about it, and that's fine.
It's fine. That train's never late.
Correct. If you had told me they didn't get him, okay. When I talk to people up there and I hear Ryan Poles speak about it and the impact that it could have on this football team and field position, I am A-okay with what they got. And when I talk to one of my college friends who still works in the league, and he says, dude, in that climate, in that building, do you have any idea how good this kid is? He said he's the best I've ever scouted at that position. He has an ability to drop the ball inside the 5 on a moment's notice. He said, I think it will be a game changer for you.
I mean, listen, they have their right to their opinion about special teams, but I would just tell you that you got to make sure everything is above board. Everything is productive. And if Taylor is productive, that's exactly why you draft him in that spot. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. So I don't understand the disconnect with that. I mean, ultimately, look at the Bears' offseason. It's first of all, they won the offseason because of the picks that they made, Cap. Not just the draft. People, for whatever reason, it's funny. My neighbor said yesterday, he's like, "Could you see the Bears draft is one of the Bears' best drafts I've ever seen with the Bears?" No. I said, no, 82 is the best in my lifetime. 83 is the best in my lifetime.
Yeah,
that's
no
a
question.
draft. That's a draft.
And when you got Dick Butkus and Gale Sayers in the first 5 picks, you had 2 top 5 picks.
Yeah.
That's also a great draft.
That's a great draft.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not about the draft as much because we knew it was a fait accompli that Caleb Williams was going to be the quarterback of the football team.
Mm-hmm.
Doomsday just happens to fall to them at 9. Thank you, Atlanta Falcons, for that. But ultimately, the offseason is the winner more so than the draft.
You're correct.
All of it.
The whole offseason, when you add in Keenan Allen, Ryan Bates, yeah, that's a hell of a, and Montez Sweat. That's a hell of a draft.
There's no arrogance. By the way, when you've won 3 games in 7 games, you're 10-24, last couple of seasons, there is no arrogance.
Yep.
You're just trying to build.
Correct.
I don't mind the confidence, but there's no arrogance there. Shea.
All right, one story about Caleb Williams that is starting to gain some traction. When he was 16 years old, he threw a pass to a high school coach so hard that it broke the coach's wedding ring. Former Gonzaga High School offensive coordinator said that he caught the pass, noticed that his finger hurt and was bleeding, realized his wedding band was split in half, went home, told his wife about it. She's furious that his wedding ring's broken, and then she's in disbelief that a 16-year-old kid threw a football hard enough to snap a wedding band. So he said he had to solder the ring back together, and now when he's doing football things, he wears it on a chain around his neck so that it won't happen again. Mm-hmm. But now that Caleb has been drafted, he's going to sign a first-round rookie deal. He's going to be making all kinds of money. Shot or no shot, Caleb should buy this guy a new wedding band.
That's a shot. That would be a cool thing. Wedding bands are not that expensive. It's not. I mean, he's going to sign for $38.2 million.
Sure.
Plus, he's already made $10 million. What's a wedding band cost? Well, the one I wear is $24. It's rubber. I wear a rubber wedding band. Yours is rubber as well, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
I wear a silicone one, yeah. I have a real one that was like $150, but
right. So Caleb could get him the nicest one with diamonds on it. What's it going to cost him? $1,000, and he makes $40 million, $50 million with all his stuff. Yeah, he should absolutely do that. Fly out to where that guy is and present it to him and put it on social. It'd be a great bit.
That is a shot. That'd be a fun story.
Yep.
A fun, special.
100%.
It's funny. You know, he throws a football that hard, and there's a great story with it. Vince Evans does that, breaks some fingers, and gets cut.
Correct.
Sorry, Vince. You throw the football too hard.
Correct.
So
you have no touch. Now, Caleb has touch. I get it. They both went to USC, ironically.
That's right. That's so funny about Vince, though. It's like, Vince, if you had some touch, man, you'd last rounds.
Correct.
He couldn't help it, man. He had a cannon.
Correct.
Vince Evans. I have his jersey at home. Good old number 8.
Yeah, I watched him play for the Bears in Minnesota. Bears drive it to the 1-inch line. It's like 2 seconds left. They're thinking, do we go for it, try and win the game, or we kick the field goal and tie it? From the 1-inch line. And the kicker, Hans Nielsen from Michigan State University, trots out there. He's going to kick the, whatever it is, 16, 17-yard field goal. Shanked it.
Yep.
Shanked it. And I'm standing there in a Bears jersey with my arms up in Minnesota because I went to college up there. Shanked it all the way off in the corner. Game over, and I got drenched in beer by people. Yeah. Not good.
All right. After being named the 2023 Sports Person of the Year,
Yep.
Colorado head coach Deion Sanders had a very weird day yesterday after a former Colorado safety commented to The Athletic that Deion was, quote, destroying players' confidence and was never even making an effort to get to know any of them. Shedeur Sanders, Deion's son and the quarterback, posted on Twitter that the player, quote, had to be very mid at best, saying, I don't even remember this guy's name. And then Deion went on a rampage against his critics, making fun of that player for poor performance in his transfer destination, making fun of an FCS player, and responding to a critic of Shedeur Sanders by saying, quote, he's a top 5 pick. When is your son getting picked? Shot or no shot, Deion Sanders and Colorado have become villains.
Oh, I think it's a shot. But here's the thing. As Cap will tell you, there's nothing wrong with black hats in sports. He was a target as soon as he left his destination at Jackson State to go to Colorado. He's been this way since he's a teenager. I have Sports Illustrated magazines at the crib with Deion Sanders with his gold chains and the hair, must be the money, all the dancing, all that stuff. He was polarizing in high school.
He was.
That
is correct.
So he does, and by the way, doesn't care, couldn't care less, because he's got that kind of confidence. He floats on a cloud. You would thought, Cap, that after his playing days that would kind of tamper down. He's always been that way. So if he's talking trash about a recruit, like, it's not going to hurt him, and that's not going to stop people from coming to Colorado to play for him.
Especially if they have NIL money.
Yeah, that's just the case. No one's stopping. No one's going to decide I'm not going to play for Deion because of these comments. He'll be fine.
Well, let's check in on Deion's recruiting rankings, since he also said on Twitter, I got time today, LOL. Looking at the recruiting rankings here, 24/7 Sports. Got to scroll, load more, scroll some more. Oh, 80 out of 133. 80. Yeah, no wonder you got time, Deion. You're not recruiting anybody.
Damn.
So you might say, it's easy to say it's not going to hurt him. Listen, they were 4-8. They started 3-0, went 1-8 down the stretch of the season, and now you can't recruit a soul. Your transfer class looks good because you've got 35 players. Problem is they're all 3-stars. So honestly, this would work better for me if he were successful. He isn't.
Yeah, in that first year, he had to clean up what was there before him.
Right.
There's no
What's
doubt.
he adding on?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think anyone expected him to be Nick Saban in year one. And I don't think he will be at Colorado. You know, you come to realize that Deion Sanders has already won. Yeah, it was a non-playoff team or a non-bowl team at 4-8. The money that he's brought into that community and the spotlight that is on Colorado, he's already won. I mean, that deal that he signed is 100-fold based on him just being on campus.
Right. They've more than paid for it.
So
correct.
So in that aspect, he's already won. But when you take over a program, you're not sonically winning, and not if you're Deion Sanders. Absolutely not.
Now he needs to go out and show a little progress this year,
No
but
question.
we'll see if he does.
But I guess the point, Cap, is that when you start from the bottom, and it is so much. I mean, the TV ratings was just so big because it's Deion Sanders. It wasn't even about the players; it's about Deion being on the sidelines. There's games that went into like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It was still getting like moon landing ratings on ESPN. You recall this, right?
I do.
I mean, so what I'm saying is that with him, he's won in every aspect of life. And what I'm saying is, as a head coach for Colorado, I don't expect him to be like in the national championship picture. Absolutely not. Look where Colorado was before he got there.
Oh, my God.
So
Irrelevant.
He's already won somehow,
has.
some way.
He has.
They were in a Pac-12 title game semi-recently, like 2018 maybe, I want to say.
Who was the coach then? Mel Tucker?
Probably. Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
But as far as him, being hated or like, he's dealt with that forever.
He has.
So, this is nothing new. So
Look, I take a problem with a head coach of a school taking shots at 19-year-old kids on Twitter. I do.
Yep.
And I think it is hurting his recruiting, which he's not doing.
What's hurting his recruiting is like he has to be able to entrust not just his staff. And by the way, it doesn't have to be him on the couches, not just him. It's got to be everybody. It's got to be a team effort. So I think that this year, yes, 0 in the draft, correct? 0 in the draft this year for Colorado.
I was just going to say, at least he can say he can put people in the league.
They were not in the title game in 2018. They were 5-7, 2-7 in the league.
It was one of those years around there. I remember them being in the title game. But the Pac-12 was garbage. They might have been like 9-3 and been in the title game.
Yeah, their coach back then was Mike McIntyre.
There you are.
Never heard of him. Sorry, Mrs. McIntyre. I never heard of your husband. What do you want me to tell you?